Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Drama is Life here with me, Theresa White, owner and your host for Drama is Life. But I'm the owner of End Time Creative Counseling Services located here in Terre Haute, Indiana, where we offer telehealth over the entire state of Indiana and also in person, of course. So we offer drama therapy with the expressive arts and traditional therapy. If you want to know more information about our services, feel free to reach out to us during regular business hours. But we are here to talk about Women's History Month. I got work to do, y'all. I got work to do, which is why I'm running a few minutes late tonight. So forgive me. So please come on in as we have this conversation. I'm going to put a little twist on Women's History Month to start us off on this wonderful Monday in March. So with tonight, I just want to give a little bit of an overview. Have anyone, ever heard the song "I Got Work to Do"? I got work to do. I got work, babe. I got a job, babe. Of course, I don't sing it as good as the actual song, but just for you to be able to get an idea. I want to talk tonight with regards to Women's History Month about the work that women have put into place. But before I do that, I want to start this month off with addressing not only part of Women's History Month, but part of Women's History is some of the problems that have shown up because of the work, because of so much work to do. So I want to address, we talk about with Drama is Life, as we talk about mental and social topics. The purpose is to decrease the stigma of mental health, particularly among African Americans and faith-based communities. So we are here to decrease the stigma of mental health everywhere. And so with regards to that, how many people, even today, if you are one of these people, I want you to put a one or a yes or a thumbs up in the comments. If you feel like you have got to the end of your day, because it's a little, we do these lives a little in the evening. So if you're still working, feel free to still comment. But if you are someone that feels like you get to the end of your day most days and still don't feel like you accomplished much, I want you to put a yes or what they say, a one in the comments. If you are someone that's like, absolutely, I get my work done most of the time, 7 days a week, or not even just 7 days a week, but 5 out of 7 days a week, I will not go home. I absolutely feel like my work is done. I got accomplished all that I desire to get accomplished. Please put a two in the comments. And as you come in, please say hello to me. Let me know that you are here as we are women celebrating women's history. I want to have a conversation about the work. I got work to do and what work does for over the history of women. And so as we talk about women's history, we can't leave out women's health. So I want to have a conversation about the health today and the effects that it has caused over history of women with doing so much work. Now, again, absolutely, I'm glad that women are in the past have, put the effort in to have the right to work and those kind of things. That's absolutely wonderful. I just wonder, do we ever stop? Do you stop? Do you ever feel like you stop working? Or do you get home? And yes, most people are like, now we're in this digital age where everybody's like, let's stay on the phone and don't judge my phone, y'all. Like, what kind of phone is that? Don't judge my phone. But if you get on and you're like, yeah, when I get home, are you able to stop, like shut the brain down, absolutely relax? And I'll tell you a little bit about my regimen and when I say I have work to do and how that has had a hand in the health and history of me, just to kind of give you a little bit of idea of what I mean. So with the idea that women are working, not the idea, but we are, excuse me, my day starts off really like, yes, I wake up, and even before I go to bed, I've already planned the next day, which a lot of times is slightly the problem. So in women's history, I mean, we're planners, and so we like to plan things. Most women like to plan things. Maybe that's you, and I like to know what the plan is. Not because most women are controlling, but just because it's nice to have a plan. I can flow. and be able to get things done because I got work to do. So as I look at my idea, I go to bed like, yes, tomorrow, and it sounds so good, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it sounds good that I'm going to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and I'm going to get myself ready. I'm going to start with prayer. I'm going to start with reading and set my mind. I'm going to make sure I get a good, healthy breakfast. 6:15, 6:20 shows up and my alarm goes off, or even 6:30. And guess what I hit? Snooze. Now, as we talk about Women's History Month, I want to, again, talking about the health, is that may not be a bad thing, but it ends up being a bad thing because that typically is how my day or sets my day. So I didn't get up at 6:30 like I planned to. And so a lot of times that shifts people's day. And it's like, I have work to do. I got to get all this stuff done. And that's what's on the mind of me in the morning. And if you relate to that, absolutely feel free to comment, ask questions. Or we always welcome that with our conversations. Feel free to reach out. And of course, always feel free to share, subscribe, download, all those things. But I want to have a conversation, a real conversation with regards to this running motor of I have work to do. Even when I shouldn't be working, I feel like I have work to do. I just woke up and I'm already saying, okay, I gotta get this done, I gotta do this. I couldn't even wake up yet. I can't even go to the bathroom. I can't even brush my teeth good. I can't even get in the shower because already the motor is going of I got work to do. And a lot of women identify that way. And this is absolutely affecting our health, which affects the history that of women throughout women's history, right? It affects our health and how we work, the history of how we work. I have work to do. So I get up and this is, my day may be shifted. Oh man, I didn't get up in time. I hit snooze. Get to work or I'm driving. And already while I'm driving, I'm not really listening to music. I'm not really enjoying the scenery. I'm thinking about my schedule and how, okay, I got this and this to do. I have to make sure answer this email and call this person back. I got to make sure. And again, the motor is still going. And I'm going to bring a point to all of this as well, how we are going to kind of address these issues. But when it comes, this motor that's going over and over and over again in my mind. And if you relate to that, this may also affect with, when you have headaches, when you get stressed. Again, I didn't get my breakfast that morning or the morning that I woke up. And so then what do I got? I'm just going to grab some coffee. I didn't really get a good hearty breakfast, so I'm going to just drink my coffee. And a lot of times women most likely have been coffee drinkers. And I won't say just because you're a woman, but a lot of women that I see that work generally are stopping at Starbucks. That's part of their morning regimen. They're stopping at some coffee shop or they're making coffee in their own home coffee pot. That's part of their morning routine or regimen to get themselves ready for work. Now, speed up time, day has passed. Maybe you got to lunch and in your mind, you're thinking, lunch. Okay, I got to eat. I'm going to go eat. And I just had this struggle today, y'all. So it's going to just be my transparent moment with regards to talking about women's history. The transparent moment of, yes, I got to get this. I got to eat. And guess what, y'all? I left and I was supposed to get an hour. But because I was taking care of everybody else and making sure I got this done for them and that done for them and answer this and answer that, I think I got out maybe 35 to 40 minutes of my own lunch and then was back to take care of afternoon appointments and schedule. And I say that because when I get to the end of my day, with doing all these things, I should absolutely feel yay, I did it. I got my job done. I got things done. But no. A lot of times I still am like, I didn't get this done. Oh man, I didn't answer that email. I answered that one, but didn't answer this one. Or a new email came in. Or I didn't answer this phone call. And all these things that equal my list. And I go at the end of my day and it still is reading. And of course, it's not real words on here, but it's reading. I have work to do. I still have work to do. Now, I say that because if that's the case, that means that's affecting my health and the ability for me to maintain productivity and to maintain health. It keeps coming back to health. So most of the issues that women may face and have faced in history with regards to health is blood pressure can be high, because stress level is high. Again, because I got all this work to do. Headaches, you got backaches because women, are the natural birthers of the world, and so babies sit absolutely on your pelvic, everything, and your bones, all your back, just all of that. So feet, a lot of feet issues, and of course heart issues. I say all of that because if we don't take the time to address this motor that can happen in the minds of caregivers, these natural caregivers. Most women are caregivers, they're taking care of children and family and job. If they're working outside the home, if they're working inside the home, and still taking care of children and doing work in the home. And so this motor, as we talked about a few months ago, is who cares for the caregiver. This motor is still going. In the pandemic, I know people, we ain't talking about it as much as we had been, but during the pandemic, this motor was still going. Yes, the world shut down and I had to be, but not for the women that are working. That now it's like, okay, how do I figure out how to get my work done? How do I figure out? And then if your job downsized, oh man, because I still got to take care of all these things. And I say all that because it absolutely affects us. And in history, we have some great exploits. We have wonderful names that we can go down the list of all these women that's done wonderful things. We talked last week, and I brought up a few names with regards to our hair, with Madam C.J. Walker, and then the women who trained her, which name was Annie. And so all these women that's done great things, but they had to do work. And so I say that because to be successful in the history of women, a lot of times women have felt like I got to do, and keep doing. And I'm not saying that men don't feel this way, but we're not talking about men today because it's women's history this month. We'll get to the men when it's your time. But I say that because throughout these great celebrations that we are like, yes, we're so happy for you. The real question is, what did it cost these women to have the plaques, to get the honorees, to get the awards, to get their name in history? We talked last month about Black history and some of the names that you absolutely probably have heard with Rosa Parks. What did it cost to get her name in history? A long work day, and I'm just too tired to get up. The young lady that happened 2 weeks before her, and off the top of my head, I can't remember her name, but I'll let you know that in a moment. That before Rosa Parks' name was mentioned, there was another young lady who refused to get up out of her seat. Again, what does it cost to be a part of history? It causes you to work. And sometimes we are not addressing the needs that we have as women. So as we talk about women's history, I absolutely want to celebrate us. I absolutely want to acknowledge that we do some marvelous things as women in this world, as the womb, as the incubators of the world. As we are the ones that, take the dreams, take the visions, and we hold them, we think them over again. We're the planners, and let's walk this out. But what happens when, again, you got so much work to do? Your list is so long, it never stops. And then it's time to go to sleep, and you're still dreaming about what you have to do. Because I bet a lot of women, even in the history and all these great names that we're going to mention, a lot was sacrificed. Relationships, health, time for themselves. And I'm not saying that we don't need to sacrifice, because we absolutely sacrifice our bodies when we are giving birth to our children. We sacrifice a lot of things. But I want to bring that point up because in history, as we talk about Andromeda's life on what was, what is, and what will be, in history, if we've neglected our own needs, neglected the signals that our own body is giving us. My feet hurt. I mean, we know women can say often, we have heels, and we got the skinny heels, we got the red bottoms, we got the stilettos, you got the boots, you got all kind of things that is not naturally formed to your feet, right? And but if you wear those because it looks nice and you got to be the fierce working woman because you have to show that you can do it all, work-life balance. Right? That's the big thing that's showing up in history of women, work-life balance. You need to be able to balance being a mother, a wife, a friend. You need to be able to balance being a business owner. If you own a business, you need to be able to balance being a great everything. And that has been the narrative throughout the history of women. So, yeah, I know you probably came on tonight thinking we're going to talk about the great exploits of women, and we will. But I want to set the tone that to be great costs something. And I say that because, and to continue to be great, we have to actually be here to leave the legacy, as we've been talking about since the beginning of the year, to leave the mark, to leave greatness. And health is absolutely part of the list, if it should not be the first thing on our list. And again, if I don't, this is going to end up being my normal meal. Or this is going, I'm not going to eat them on here, but, I'm a snack. And instead of having fruits, vegetables, grains, or things that's going to build my body, I have to just eat on the go. Instead of taking this drink, which I am going to drink this because it's nice and cold and refreshing. Instead of having something that's going to rebuild my body, build it back up. In history, women have been very accustomed. I won't say we got used to, but maybe some people have gotten used to, but have been accustomed to running our bodies down into the grave, running our bodies literally in the grave, running our bodies down. And I say that because I talk to a lot of mothers, and we're going to absolutely celebrate mothers during this month. I know it's not Mother's Day, it's not the month, but women are mothers. And so we want to celebrate them as mothers because that's part of history. So I say that because how many people were doing all the great things that they do with trying to leave a legacy and take care of all these things and making sure that that be encouraged and all the things that women do to lift other people up, that a lot of times they're getting pushed back or they're pushing themselves back. We're pushing ourselves back. And I say that because I got up in the morning like, yes, and I hit snooze on myself, on my schedule, when in reality I had to really think about it. If the appointment was for someone else, would I have snoozed it? That was a hard question for me. And of course, as a therapist, I absolutely do a lot of my own work and do work with my own and my own therapy. I say that because I had to really reflect on that. How can I leave a great legacy if I just leave? Because I'm not taking care of anything with myself. I've taught myself to ignore my needs. I've taught myself to ignore my body's signals. And I say that because even go back to grade school. How many people was able to go to the bathroom when you wanted to? Or did you have to raise your hand and tell the teacher and they had to give you permission to go to the bathroom? Now, again, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be order in school, but we have been taught to ignore our body system. And as a drama therapist, that is one of the great things that I enjoy about doing this work, because I teach people how to listen to themselves again, which sometimes is like, whoa, I've been screaming for a long time and I didn't realize it, or I've been hurting for a long time, or I've been whatever for a long time and did not realize it. And to actually stop and listen to yourself. Shh. Are you saying you're tired? Are you saying it's okay to put the work in, but we can turn it off and lay down or go to bed a little early? Are we gonna actually, leave the office early? We're not gonna try to do extra work. I say that because in women's history, as we celebrate, please celebrate. And as we talk about that, please as we talk throughout this month, I want you to absolutely comment on great women that that have been sacrificial, that have absolutely put others before themselves, that have been great, great leaders and legacy leavers. I want to celebrate them, but I also want to acknowledge the fact that we can still leave a great legacy while also taking care of ourselves, because that balance of work life is not really work life balance, it's just life balance. It's balancing life, balancing the things that are important to you, balancing priorities. And that can get lost really easily. And it's important that we don't ignore our system with that. When our system says, we're hurting, we're tense, our back hurt, we're tired, we're thirsty, we need a meal that is wholesome, that's not like grab a bag of chips and go. And this may not be you. You may not be like the grab the chips person. Maybe you are somebody that's like, okay, I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee and that's my meal. What did you have for breakfast, Theresa? I had coffee. Or I had a cup of tea. Maybe tea. Maybe tea's a little bit better, right? So I say that because we are constantly looking at how to better everybody else in the world. And I want to encourage you as a woman, if you are watching, to encourage you as a woman to begin to listen to yourself, your signals. I don't mean be selfish. That's not what I'm saying by any means. I'm not saying forget everybody else and you ignore taking care of your children, not at all. But start to tune in. Literally start to tune in to what you may be needing, where you are on the work list. Because I bet it's the work list, even the one that you made about yourself. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write that book. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna, go take a walk. All these things. To do that, you have to put yourself on the list as a priority. And how easy it is, because that is the history of women, to bump yourself off of the list. Well, I'll do my stuff later. I need to go to the bank and take care of this and this, and I'll do me later. I'll take care of that part of. I'll just, okay, instead of making that meal that I was gonna make, I'll just grab some fruit on the way, or I'll grab a bag of chips on the way, instead of really being able to sit down and take time for yourself. Now I say that because I'm coming back to my schedule. There are many days, my transparent moment, many days I walk out and I say, I didn't get half of the list that I have wanted to do. And we can blame it on, you got ADD, ADHD. We have all these things that we give ourselves these negative labels when we don't get our work done, which just feeds into the whole history. But I won't get into another tangent about that. We'll talk about that a little later. But I just want to encourage, if you don't hear anything else tonight, encourage us to allow our health to be a part of history, building each other up to be a part of history. And some women absolutely do a great job with that and have done a great job with that. But there are a lot of women that still need help with learning how to do that, how to build themselves up, how to release, and how to rest. So I want to encourage this month, as we talk about all these great women, I want you to add your name to the list, but also add your name to the list of health, that you're going to be a woman that has health built up, whether that's mental, physical, emotional, behavioral, spiritual, all those things, all the parts of you that need your attention, that's going to be built up this month. I want to kind of give a different spin to Women's History Month. I don't want to talk about people who have passed away and they left a legacy. We know about them and we absolutely give them their kudos and their clout. But I want to talk to the women who are here now, who are struggling to make that mark. And they feel like that I'm trying to make, I want you to know that you are absolutely celebrated. And in part of this history and this health, that we're going to leave a mark of greatness for you to take care of yourself in the midst of the work to do. So again, not saying let's forget everybody else, but I'm saying let's add ourselves in there a little bit. And so that's kind of our framework for this month. And I just want to leave you there with, how often do you leave the day? How often do you end the day and beat yourself up or get frustrated or feel down because you did not get all the things on your list done that day? And then you add the 10 things you didn't get done today to the list of 20 things tomorrow. And your list continues to pile and pile. So that motor running of I got work to do will never stop because you never stop adding to the list. And so we're going to talk about the health, wealth, and history of leaving that kind of legacy for our women this month. And thank you for joining this month. I wanted to give you one way to be able to take care of yourself. I actually am going to just encourage you. This is going to be difficult. I just said it. I was going to say it for the second and my phone ding. Ain't that something? That's why there has been times that, it's kind of like, oh, let me check this. I'm going to check this real quick. When you have that moment, real quick, put your phone down. Because you're real quick of strolling on TikTok and looking at this one video. You're real quick of getting on Instagram. You're real quick of getting on Facebook or checking an email. Never. And you all can probably absolutely put in the comments if that's true or not, if I'm just making it up. Never is real quick. You are sitting there like, this is going to be 3 more hours. And I'm like, how am I still in here? I must have been in bed 2 hours ago. Because your real quick is never real quick when it comes to your phone or electronics, tablets, etc. So when you have that moment of like, let me do this real quick, I want you to sit down real quick and do what I call a check-in. And I'm going to teach you just in this 30 seconds how to do a check-in. Mentally, think about, how do I feel right now? If I had to describe it, and I sometimes use color as a check-in point, if I had to describe my mood as a color at this moment, what would it be? And whatever it is, say what that is to yourself. You can journal it if you want to, but let that be. And I'm not saying give yourself 2-3 hours, because you may not have that if you got little ones running around or you're making dinner. But 30 seconds to a minute, go to the bathroom, which I know some mothers struggle to do that too because you got little ones following you. But in those moments where you wake up in the morning, sit at the end of the bed, even if it's just, I just woke up, what's that mood color for you? I say that because when you start to put that in your routine of the to-dos that you have to do, that absolutely shifts history, because you put something new in your day, and that will build your health. And of course, leave that as a legacy for whoever you're caring for, whether it is a spouse, your children, going to work. You will practice doing that throughout your day. Okay. People are like, what's going on with you? People say that to themselves, like, what's going on, Theresa? That'd be a great moment to say, instead of me, real quick, let me check this email, real quick, if my mood was a color today. And if you would love to, I would love to have you share that in the comments. Please let us know what your mood color is. You don't have to explain why. Just put your color in the comments, and give yourself a moment to check in, a moment to listen to the history that shows up in you, that's been present throughout your day, maybe that's been present throughout the week, the month, to take a moment to listen to it. And so as we celebrate this month, we're going to actually teach some techniques on how you can build your health as part of Women's History Month. So thank you for watching another Drama is Life. Listen to another Drama is Life. I hope that you have learned something. If you didn't hear anything else, please, please, please take that moment. Take that time to hear yourself so you can stop that motor at the appropriate times, and it's not constantly getting involved in your moments of quality time with family, quality time at home, quality time with whatever you're doing. You're trying to shut off the work, schedule, or the work part of yourself. So as we start this month, again, happy Women's History Month, as we are going to teach a little bit of, get a little twist on it with teaching you how to build your health as well as your wealth. That's absolutely the new wealth is health. So we will see you, hopefully, and you will hear us again as we come back again next week on Drama is Life. And we hope that you have a great, restful, and a knowledgeable week that you would know about yourself. And I will see you next time. So feel free again to comment your color. In the comments, if your mood at this moment was a color, what would it be? You guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Don't work too hard. Bye bye.